Good
We're back.
afternoon.
You guys, it's a wonderful Wednesday. I do want to know Amy's shirt. Amy, you got to show us your shirt.
I love my shirt.
I feel seen and heard.
I love it. I love it.
Her soul sister shirt on today.
Got the
I love it
Afro
too
pick and everything.
I didn't even realize that when I bought it and I was showing our executive producer, Afia, she's like, "It's Felicia." I'm like, "It is Felicia."
That's nice.
No, I can appreciate a little Afro for sure.
Yeah, I love it. It was from the guys we had on Friday, Daryl with Sound Off. Amazing line of clothes.
Nice.
Yeah, they all have a civil message, so very cool.
Nice. I'll have to check that out. That's nice.
Yeah.
Good choice, Amy.
Thank you. You guys want to get into a little bit of weather out there? Because it is a hot day. I can't believe how warm it got out today. We are getting upwards of 86, close to 87 degrees right now, but it is pretty. So if you're looking out the window, you're like, well, I should get outside. Just so you know, it's warm. Not a cloud in the sky from our Earth shot right now of downtown. Nice sunny skies. You may see a little bit of haze out there. Today is an air pollution action day, which means if you know folks who have some respiratory problems, they should probably limit their exposure outside today. And we're going to have a couple more nice days ahead before the weather does a little turn on us. Thursday, we're going to get up to 90 degrees. We'll have a couple of scattered afternoon clouds on Thursday as well. Friday, starting to get a little hotter and muggier, 92 degrees. That's because as we got a system moving into the area that's going to bring showers and thunderstorms for the weekend. We're looking at a high of 89 degrees on Saturday, the first official day of summer. Those scattered showers and thunderstorms are likely going to be through most of the day on Saturday, starting after the late morning hours, so after 10 o'clock or so. On Sunday for Father's Day, so the bad news is right now it looks like scattered showers and thunderstorms, mostly in the morning. It looks like by the afternoon, we'll just be talking about clouds and a high of 85 degrees on Sunday. On Monday, we're looking at a high of 86. There might be a few scattered showers out there still. They're going to be kind of random and on and off. Tuesday, we get nicer again, about 84, mostly sunny skies, but it will still be humid out there on Tuesday, but overall will be a nice day. So not a bad stretch once we get through the weekend.
Yeah. Okay. We're preparing for humidity.
Yep.
Let's bring in Diana Gutierrez. She actually has some breaking news to share with us about a trans woman that was killed in Marquette Park. Certainly a very tragic story. We are also waiting to get an update from CPD. Diana, what can you tell us?
Hey guys, good afternoon. Yeah, so an update on this story. An 18-year-old high school student was allegedly so upset after finding out a woman that he went home with was transgender that he killed her. Now, Cook County prosecutors say Orlando Perez, as you can see here on your screen, confessed to detectives that after firing his gun twice at Selena Reyes Hernandez, he went back to her house so that he could fire again. Prosecutors add Perez shot Reyes Hernandez's body several times. A witness who heard loud noises discovered the victim's body later on that morning. Now, right now, there is no indication that Perez and the 37-year-old victim knew each other before going home together on May 31st. Perez was arrested Sunday at his Marquette Park home. He's being held without bail, and his next court date is July 6th. Now, like Felicia, you just mentioned, CPD is expected to give a press conference here at 2, so we should be hearing more information later on today.
Thanks, Diana. We appreciate it. And of course, a tragic story we hear so many times about the shootings across Chicago. A lot of times you don't hear why. So hearing some reasoning and seeing some life story behind it certainly makes it difficult to digest, but we'll wait to get some more information from you. We appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Deanna. All right. Switching gears here. You guys ready to start the show?
Yeah.
All right. Our first guest may be familiar to you if you're a fan of Showtime's The Chi. I'm talking about Curtis Cook. He plays Duda, and season 3 is gearing up on Sunday. So we're going to welcome Curtis Cook now. What's up, bro?
What's going on, Chicago?
Hey.
From his patio. Very nice.
Yeah.
Where's the patio located?
Okay, I ain't telling you that, Felicia. I don't want you rolling up here. No, I'm up in the mountains. I'm out in the mountains. I live about 70 miles outside of New York City.
Oh, that looks lovely.
Yeah, it's so
Very
nice.
cool.
It's so peaceful. So peaceful.
Well, that's awesome, man. You're bringing us peace, seeing
Yeah.
all that.
Thank
It's
you.
really good.
Now, if you see me swat a fly or something, that's just because that's how peaceful it is. You see me do all that.
Completely understand. So, hey, exciting time for you. Season 3 of The Chi. I know you're pumped for it. Where do we find your character?
Wow, man. I'm so pumped for it. And Duda we're going all the way to the beginning of how Duda became Duda.
Okay.
And it's going to be, oh, you got some footage showing there. You
Oh, yeah.
threw me off. I'm like, oh, that ain't me. That's beautiful Natasha. But so in season 3, we find Duda, we're finding a lot more about his backstory, why and how, and he became the man that he is. And during that journey, he decides that, you know what, I think it's time for me to step it up a notch. And so he's gonna run for mayor of Chicago.
Oh,
See if
wow.
he can tackle that.
Ooh,
Oh,
okay.
big shoes to fill.
Come on. But look, Duda got some big feet, Amy. So he's ready to fill those shoes.
I like that we're seeing like footage of the show, and how the show it's like hectic and there's a lot going on, and then we see you in this beautiful shot in the mountains. It's all serene. It's like you almost have to get away from it all.
Yeah.
Right. The beautiful thing about the Chi in the south side of Chicago, I think, I'm not from Chicago, but visiting there and living there for a long time, like for shooting the show, it's like, it's all about community. You know what I mean? It's all about togetherness. And sometimes inside of that, there is something that from the outside that might look chaotic because there's all these moving parts. But when you in it, it's just like a roller coaster ride. I mean, it's like a ride. You sit in it and you roll and it's beautiful. You know what I mean? It's challenging in some days, but it's beautiful.
I feel like you literally just described the Chi.
Yeah.
Yeah, you literally just described the Chi. There's some hard, tense moments, but there's some beautiful moments as well. And I think that was Lena Waithe's goal, was to show the humanity that exists here, because a lot of times we just see the news stories.
Exactly. And then credit to Lena and Fox 21 and all of those folks, because they do it in a realistic way. You know what I mean? It's not some fantastic bang, bang, splash, splash. It's like, you know what? Sometimes you're kind of watching the show and you feel like, what am I watching here? There's nothing going on. But all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, that's my auntie. That's my uncle. That's my cousin. You're so involved in it and so wrapped up in it because it's so real and it feels so close to home. And then, you have some incredible actors on there too, who are able to pull that off. And I'm very, very blessed to be a part of the show. I really am.
Yeah. This is the difference between writers and producers, people behind the scenes that are actually from Chicago, because that authenticity is not something that can be missed.
Right. And it's cool for somebody like me who is not from Chicago to have other actors, like some of the other people who been acting in Chicago. I'm born and raised in Chicago. I can watch them. And sometimes they come to me like, you know what, we don't say it like that. I'm like, really? They're like, nah, you might want to throw that R off of there. I'm like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? And that helps. It just it makes it more authentic, and it makes it breathe easier, and it's more easy. It's easier to digest.
Yeah, you're from Dayton, Ohio. And so I saw you mention somewhere that where you're from had an impact on kind of how you approach this role and the show itself. How is that?
Well, I'm an old dude, but and the Chi is current, but that it was just like I said, the feeling of family, the feeling of community. I grew up on the west side of Dayton, which is primarily Black, predominantly Black, and in some of these nooks in our country, a lot of those cities, you can kind of pick up somebody and place them in there. Although there are some specificities that are definitely different, there's a generality that you kind of go, you'd be like, oh, shit, I know where I am, and then you realize somebody come down the street, you'd be like, nah, I don't know where I am. But and so growing up in Dayton and being from a lower middle class family and understanding the struggles, the everyday struggles of a young Black boy, it easily relates into what was happening in the Midwest and in Illinois. You know what I mean? So I could bring some of that to this character.
Yeah, you said from the west side of Dayton, and now you're going to the West Side Story. That's pretty exciting.
You done segued on over there, didn't you? Yes, indeed. Thanks to Mr. Spielberg and Mr. Tony Kushner, I will be in West Side Story, the new musical. That's probably, hopefully we're coming out in 2021, but everything's all up and all over the place now. So who knows how and when and will it be released. But I tell you this, when you see that movie, you're going to be blown away. I mean, I grew up on musicals. You know what I mean? I thought at one point in my life, that's all I would ever do, ever, until I did that one television job and I got that one check. I was like, hold on. Y'all gonna pay me all this for this one?
Okay.
We absolutely love musicals here at the Jam.
We do.
What's your character? Who's your character gonna be?
So that's the other beautiful part about it. Now, Abe is this character that Tony Kushner created for this production of West Side Story, and which makes sense because if you think of 1940s and the 1950s, there was a lot of Black folk walking around in New York City at that time, and unfortunately, in the originals, there were none of us walking around on those stages and in those movies. But this time, they brought this guy around, and what he does and how he turns the plot. In this, I can't say too much. I'm kind of watching my words so I don't slip out something. I get a call and be like, "Hey, Curtis,
we're hanging on every word."
Right.
Is production already done?
Yeah, we finished shooting everything. That they're doing post now.
Is that nerve-wracking for you to take on that movie, that iconic movie that you grew up watching? You know how many people love it?
Yes, I mean, even I love it so much. And I had the fortune of working with Arthur Lawrence, who was the original writer of the Broadway production years before he passed, God rest his soul. And I would and never guessed that I would be doing one of his iconic musicals, and so. And then on top of that was Steven Spielberg. Come on, what? And so add pressure on top of pressure on top of pressure. My little black butt in there talking about, okay, what y'all? Hey, everybody! But they made me feel so welcome. You know what I mean? They allowed me to expand, and they allowed me to add my creativity to it. And you get that a lot from those masters. You know what I mean? They're not intimidated by anything. So they're like, you know what? Bring all you have. We want all of it because
all of it.
That's why we hired you, because we see that in you. And here it is. And man, I'm telling you, this movie is gonna blow your minds. But not as bad, not as good as The Shot this Sunday on Showtime.
Yes.
Sell it.
This man knows how to sell something.
Yeah.
He's doing a good job. No, we love it. We love your excitement and your enthusiasm behind it all. I'm actually really curious because as much as we love musicals here, we also love reality TV show. Candy Burris is going to be on this season of The Chi.
Yeah. Miss Candy
Where are
Burris.
we?
Oh, she don't want no scrubs. Scrubs isn't want to get no living. But
I heard her character is getting down like to the nitty gritty.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of that. And she's playing my wife. And
okay, things just got interesting.
They got hard, right?
Talk about the role on the show.
Come on. So I'm, like you seen this dude now. You see me. This is Curtis. And all of a sudden, but Duda is a different dude. You know what I mean? He's a little more laid back and a little more focused. And so, in order to have somebody, you have to have somebody with an equal amount of, stuff to deal with somebody like that. You know what I mean? And I have to say that Candy, she brought it. She came in there with an open mind and an open heart and ready to work. And when I tell you we worked.
Oh.
Okay. Enough said. My man.
Felicia, are you blushing, Felicia? What's going on over there?
Only because Candy Burris talked about the role and how it impacted her life. It was conversation on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So
are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So
I gotta find out.
Let me Google that.
Word on the street is that things got heated with it, but it's good. It's all
good. Heated, not heated, but good heated.
Yeah, good heated.
Yeah. Hey, so I got a question. Since you love musicals as well, is there one that you would always want to star in?
Yes.
Other than West Side Story.
Right. You know what? One of the musicals is it's called Raisin, and it's the musical version of A Raisin in the Sun. And I would love to do Walter Lee. It was done on Broadway. Joe Morton actually played the Walter Lee role on Broadway, and I think it was Debbie Allen was also in that production back in the day. So that's one of those little known musicals. I mean, in the community we know it, but it's one of those ones because it has heart and it has a really rough act. I mean, we know the story of A Raisin in the Sun, so it has all of that rich acting and message, and I would love to do that musical.
It's got meat, right?
A lot of meat.
You've had a lot of different roles, bro. Like you did House of Cards. You were in Luke Cage, and I'm big into superheroes. Would you ever consider playing a superhero or supervillain? So I can think of some roles for you.
Woo! You know what my favorite one is? If you go to my Instagram and you see my old ass, I'm sorry, excuse my language, my old self. Be out here doing these workouts trying to get it together because I know they're gonna call me soon. But My dream one, man, is Green Lantern, man.
Yes, that's what I was gonna pick. Yes,
Bruh, if that ever came around, I would knock some kneecaps out just to pull that in. It'd be like, why I'm a
Dude.
nasty character. I'm sorry. I would knock some people out. They'd be like, only person left is Curtis. Hey, I don't know what happened. I'm ready.
And let's be honest, it needs to be done again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you're killing him. Oh, he'll say that too, I guess, too. Reynolds.
Bro, let's make it happen. They're doing the Green Lantern TV series, so let's get you in there, bro.
Come on, man. I'm ready. I'm about to call my agent right now. You know,
I'm about to start the fan campaign. Let me tweet out something real quick.
So are you starting to see things pick back up now that we're easing out of this quarantine a little bit?
I'm starting to hear more about things, whereas before there was nobody talking about, too much stuff. But I haven't heard anybody leaving town or starting to actually work on anything. But I'm hearing about, we're looking for this date, but all of it is still kind of was subject to change at the bottom of it. So it seems like people are trying to move forward, but there's a lot of things that we have to take in consideration. Foremost is our health. You know what I mean? Because this corona is killing people. So we don't want to mess around with corona.
Right.
No, I don't. I got a couple more years left, Felicia, maybe 2 or 3, but I'm going to.
I think you got a few more than that.
Yes.
I am with you, man. Well, Curtis, thank you so much for joining us. Great talking to you from the comfort of your patio.
You ain't gonna let me live that down, are you?
I love it. I love it. And looking forward to season 3 of The Chi.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, I wish I knew that dude right
I
there.
know, a man in a well-tailored suit. Hello.
What happened to the, I gotta see. You done told my secrets. I gotta cover all this back up.
Hello, Green Lantern.
Right.
All right,
Thank
Curtis,
you guys so
thank
much.
you.
Thank you. Have a great day, folks.
You too. Oh, he's so fun.
He's great.
Oh, the Green Lantern would be amazing for him.
Oh, I'm pumped.
I'm
gonna
pumped.
make this happen.
You should start that campaign, Brandon. I'm all over it.
I'm gonna tweet it into existence. It's gotta happen.
That would be amazing. Look at all the versatility in the roles that he's played. I mean,
from The Chi to West Side Story.
Yeah.
He's good.
Hey, we've got another very interesting guest that we want to continue on. Ann Verge is joining us again today. We've spoken with her in the past. She is the aunt of one of our producers and just has a lot of worldly experience and a lot of great thoughts on things going on in the world. So we're going to wait for Ann Verge to get in here because we want to get her opinions on everything that's going on in the world right now, because there's a lot of, she's been around for a while.
Yeah.
Hi, Ann Verge.
We need her perspective.
Yeah.
Hey, Ann Verge, can you hear us?
One of our producers and just has a
little bit of a delay.
No, we're on Aunt Verge's time. This is her we're on your time.
Am I on, Sean?
Yeah, we can see you. Can you see us?
Yes, I can.
Oh, wonderful. It sounds like you have us playing in the background. Are you guys able to turn that down? Oh, okay. I think we're good.
Down. Are you okay?
Yeah, we're all good now.
Turn
So
it
how
down.
you doing?
I went down and back.
I'm okay. I've never met you, but I've been
Brandon.
watching
How are
you
you?
this week. You must be there permanently. John is gone.
Pretty much.
John's on vacation.
Did you hear me?
Oh, he's on vacation.
Yeah, I know he is, but I didn't meet Brandon.
Oh, it's great to meet you, Aunt Verge. Good to see you.
Nice to meet you too, and good to see you, Felicia and Amy.
Good to see you
Watching
too.
the show.
How are you holding up with the quarantine still? Are you doing good?
With what?
With the shelter in place, so staying home, are you doing okay?
Yeah, what else can I do? At least the weather's better, so I can get outside my yard and pull weeds and plant flowers and kind of try to tidy up out there. It's been kind of nice and pleasant because we have such crappy weather for a while.
Yeah.
This is true.
That helps to be able to get out.
Yeah. For those who may have missed it, we tuned in on Verge earlier in the quarantine, and here we are a few months later. What are you doing to pass the time? What do you do for fun?
You gotta be kidding. Everything's fun or it's not. I just do the normal things that anybody. I've been trying to read. I had a couple of books which I finally finished, and I haven't been too well with my exercise. And I think that's partially because when you go to a class and you have people around you, you're more apt to do it. and I should be doing more of that. But other than that, I always have stuff around here. It's not like I have about 10 puzzles I could put together. I like to work crossword puzzle books. So I divert myself. It depends what my mood is.
Well,
But
Aunt Verge, I know that you've
fascinating.
probably been keeping up on all the things that have been going on in the world and where we are. So what do you think about all the protests and the riots and all of the the uprising over the death of George Floyd?
Well, I think it's overwhelming, as an overall, and there's so much of it. And much of it is very interesting. And I think I was happy to have them calm down with the looters. You don't hear too much as you did in the beginning, because that's always kind of scary.
Yeah.
And of course, where I'm at, there's not much, and I'm not going out, so I'm not out in the public. I think we did come across a couple of people that were standing on a corner with signs, but that was the extent of it. But I really hope that this time it's going to truly work. And I think everybody, the whole world, or all the people should cooperate. I think we've all had, our opinions and our thoughts and prejudice or whatever. But this isn't time for, let's all get together, be one happy family, if that's possible.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's hard because I think they want to do a lot of things, and I don't know whether they're going to get it all done. And I feel very firmly that the police go too far. But I think part of that was training. I lived in Chicago, and Chicago was always rough, the police department. In fact, probably too rough and out of line. But there were good cops too.
Yep.
So I can't really, I'm talking about a lot of years ago when I was young, because they should have learned to keep their mouth shut or just do their jobs. But I think it's going to take a lot of work. I think it's going to take a lot of training. And I don't think, like lately, this last incident was a race for, I forget his name. Why did they shoot him?
Yeah.
That's the same.
Why did they shoot? I mean, I can't imagine myself shooting anybody. Well, just like Lloyd, I think if I was one of the policemen there, I would have pushed his hand. You might not protect yourself, but when somebody else is involved, you try to protect them.
Yeah.
But this is the way it is, and it's so unfortunate. But hopefully this is all in the right direction. And I hope that the police, we can't do without the police. We have to have law and order. But we have to have respect for everybody and to think about everybody like they might be related to us. We're all somebody's, a wife or husband or child or grandchild. Think of them. There are people that suffer so awful when they have their loved ones killed.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I have no answers, but I hope. And it'd be nice if I lived long enough to see it. It'd bring me joy.
Yeah.
At least
It's refreshing it's refreshing to hear your perspective, because I mean, you've seen, the arc of history kind of bend, and you've seen all these different movements through time.
Right.
Is this different to you?
Is it different?
Yeah. Are you seeing anything different this time around?
Well, yeah, I see more people and more protesting. I never lived at a time I remember as 68, but that was really not too much. My husband was living at that time, and he kind of sheltered me. I think he took me to stay with some friends, just so not that I was in danger or anything, but just so he knew that I was safe. But this is something I have never seen, just like the epidemic. I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah.
I've never heard about so many people starving and be without food and without money.
Yeah, it's a lot of different issues going on right now. We heard you mention training. I heard you say we need more respect. What do you think the world needs more of?
Training. Well, I think you have to have respect to be able to be a good training. Don't you think everybody should respect a person? I don't know. Sometimes even if you don't care for somebody, you just don't blast out. Well, I never lived that way. If I didn't like something, I didn't call them names or argue with them. I just most times say I disagree and that's it. You know, we have a choice of who we want to deal with in everyday life. I don't know. Like I said, I don't have the answer, but
definitely some good insight.
Yeah.
We should ask too, the Supreme Court just passed new laws making it illegal to discriminate against LGBTQ people in the workforce. That's a huge step forward for civil rights. What do you think of that?
I thought it was great. It was one of the best things that's happened. I don't think they should ever do that, discriminate against them as far as their employment or anything. I don't think they should discriminate anyway.
Right.
Yeah. One thing I think when you look at the world and just how we move through it, you know, we see all these stores closing and just kind of things shifting. Who would have thought we'd be here? I heard you were a fan of JCPenney's and they're going through a tough time right now.
Oh, I know. And it's hurting me because I have quite a bit of stock, which I'm probably going to lose. And I could have, you know, but I had, because you're related to somebody, my husband worked for them and he believed in the penny company. And I think that was the last thing I would have thought of getting rid of. But I'll probably, you know, have to live with it. And that's the way it is. I hope somehow, I don't think they're going to really come back. And I'm not an online person. I like to try clothes on and I don't like returning stuff. I like to go to the store, especially when I was younger. And clothes are different today. You can't take a size 10 and know it's a size 10.
Yeah.
You try it on.
But it just kind of shows the signs of the time.
Correct.
Yeah.
And it's great for a lot of people. You know, people are busy, they're working, younger people, like they go to the store, they don't care how much they pay for groceries because they have to feed their family and they're busy. There's nothing wrong with that.
And we're lazy and we don't want to go to stores.
Yeah, it's too bad about JCPenney, but that's the way it is. It's happening.
So on Verge, I hear you're a fan of Jeopardy and you're a fan of King, but not so much Oprah. Why not Oprah?
Well, there are times she's gotten a little bitter, but sometimes she gets carried away.
I love Oprah.
I agree, Aunt Verge. I agree.
Yeah.
What do you guys mean?
Yeah, we're split down the middle because I'm Oprah too.
Yeah, she's gotten better than she had been.
Better at what?
She certainly does a lot. Oh, her whole attitude and not as flamboyant as she had been at sometimes. Going. I'd like somebody calmer. She's all right though. I never disliked her.
Yeah.
I went to see her in person, so I wouldn't have made the trip to go and see her.
See, I totally agree with
calmer.
you. Sometimes she's a little bit over the top about herself, but she does a lot of really good things for other people.
What happened, Amy? Are we there?
Yeah, can you hear us on Verge?
Okay, I didn't hear what you said, Amy.
Oh, I was gonna say, I agree with you because I think sometimes she's a little over the top about herself, but at the same time, she does really great things for a lot of people. So I'm
Correct. And she gives a lot of her money away.
Yeah, she's
so that's a good thing.
Very good in that respect.
Yeah. But like everything, we all have, people we like better than others.
Yeah, that's true. Sure. That's very true.
Personalities or stars or entertainers.
Well, Aunt Verge, thank you so much for joining us again. We love chatting with you and getting your insight on things. Are you there? Yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us. We're going to let you go, but we really appreciate always getting your insight. You're always fun to talk to.
Okay. Anyway, it was good seeing you again. And like I said, I really enjoy your show. I think I like your hours a little better.
Well, we'll tell the boss because we do too.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, nice seeing you again. Take
Bye,
care
Aunt
of yourself.
Verge.
Bye, Aunt Verge.
Great to meet you.
Bye now.
She's sweet. She's sweet.
I mean, it's good. It's just fascinating to talk to her. I mean, she was born in 1926.
Yeah.
That woman has lived a lot of history.
I just want to sit with her for a cup of tea and then a cocktail.
That's like her Manhattans. We know that.
Yeah, I hear she likes a good drink now and then. Speaking of history, we got a great community initiative here called Share Your Pride. It's our campaign here in Chicago in honor of the Stonewall Uprising. Each June, Americans celebrate LGBTQ Pride Month. And so in recognition of that, CW26 and Aiken Law Office are celebrating Agents of Change. You want to hear and share your story. So use that hashtag Share Your Pride Chicago and tag us at CW26 Chicago. Send your stories, your pictures to jamrealshy@wciu.com. We're going to be highlighting your stories all month long.
Okay. Let's bring in our next guest. We want to introduce you to someone that you should know. This is Derek Clifton, and they are part of the Economic Security Project, and they talk about bringing the intersection and how strong that can be, the synergy between race, poverty, as well as economics. Derek, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us about the work you're doing with the Economic Security Project.
Oh, wow. Well, it's fairly new. I'm excited to be part of an organization that's doing some really interesting work on, getting more people looped into programs that get them out of the cycle of poverty. But, aside from that work, I do a lot of writing that focuses on the intersection of race, gender, sexuality, and a variety of different social justice issues. And that's something I'm really passionate about, especially given the moment that we're in, where we're on the same day as we get a historic Supreme Court ruling on LGBTQ non-discrimination in the workplace. We get news about the killing of Toyin Salau down in Tallahassee, Florida. In addition to right before that, the killing of Tory McDade by the police in the same city. So it's a really tense time to be at the intersections of both the Black community and the LGBT community, but it's important that we continue to keep the conversations going.
And when you talk about both of those civil rights and all the people that are putting all this effort into it, is it something that can be fought together, or are they two separate issues?
It's important that they be fought together because we live lives that are not single issue lives. We are not single issue people. Being myself a Black LGBT individual, it's sometimes been hard over the course of life to feel as though I can walk into a space that's LGBT focused and be able to elevate the concerns that are related to race. And likewise, in certain spaces that focus on racial justice or the Black experience, it's sometimes difficult to get the experiences of Black LGBT people looped into the mix when we're talking about how we solve certain issues. So that's why it's important to make sure that we're looping them all in together, because once you focus in on what's hitting people who are at the deepest levels of marginalization, you fix the problems for everybody. It works from the bottom up, not from the top down.
Derek, when you see the Black Lives Matter movement and you see how activists and brands now are attaching themselves to it, do you feel like they're doing a good enough job of looping in the LGBTQ into that really it's all Black lives that matter?
I think we're starting to see more attention being given to that. For example, there was the drag march that took place in East Lakeview this past Sunday, where you had a number of LGBTQ people of color and who were speaking and a lot of other people who were marching and getting, a lot of inter-community solidarity going on, because I mean, this is a neighborhood where only about a decade ago, there were meetings to take back Boys Town, right? These were people who, not long after the center on Halsted was built on the actual Boys Town strip, were like, I'm here for my volleyball league, for my HRC local meetings. I'm not here to see these Black and brown and poor, queer, and trans youth come here to get services. They're loud, they're unruly. We don't want them around. We don't want them in our neighborhood. And they forget conveniently the fact, or at the time they forgot, and it's persistent, it's still something we have to challenge, that the neighborhood became, over the course of decades, a refuge for LGBT people. And now that it's become more moneyed, more white, and now more hetero, you have people who wanted to look and feel a certain type of way. So it's taken a while to shift the narrative to where the LGBT issues aren't ghettoized to simply being about white, gay, and wealthy people. That's where people were really afraid that like the focus on marriage equality as the end goal was going to take away from other causes. And actually the money did end up siphoning away from nonprofits after that Supreme Court decision 5 years ago. So now what we just had this week, in addition to all the protests going on, there was also a historic protest in New York for Black trans lives. People are now starting to see that the fight is far from over.
What do you think about the role social media is playing in all of this? That's certainly pushing the culture and pushing the narrative forward, I think.
I think social media has in many ways been the great equalizer. And in some cases, it's often depressing. I remember when I was a full-time staff writer for Mike.com back in 2014, when Ferguson had rose up after the killing of Michael Brown. It seemed like it was every other day that another Black person became a hashtag. Mm-hmm. And having to constantly wade in that trauma, whether it is the footage of somebody being killed or stories from activists on the ground getting tear gassed and beat up by police officers while out there trying to advocate for our community, it's harrowing. And it's not often an attention on the mental health aspect of this, right? At the same time, I think social media has been a powerful force to make people not ignore what's happening, right? They can't just turn it off anymore. And it's actually more the news media to look at the narrative outside of what the police often spoon feeds to not only to journalists, but also to the communities that they're supposed to protect and serve. And the more that's been laid out on social media, when the officer comes up with "I feared for my life" narrative, or claims that a killing was not the subject of brutality when we all clearly saw what happened, then the public gets to hold more of a light to that and really push for accountability, and also make sure that our politicians aren't just coming up with incremental reformist solutions, but actual policies that redirect resources away from bloated police budgets to putting the money back into reducing the scarcities in communities where crime and poverty are often rising up in the way they are.
Right. I get sometimes fearful, and I want to get your thoughts on this, about social media, because while there is the good that it's exposing in a lot of these areas, there are also the people that are using it for their own good and in a negative way. And so I'm worried that a lot of these younger people who maybe don't know the backstory and the history behind a movement like this may not be able to filter through some of the BS, frankly, that's also out there. Does that concern you at all?
It does to some degree, especially when it relates to organizations that, or at least not even say organizations, I would say individuals and some organizations that may not be operating with the best intentions in mind. A number of activists and organizers have had to, for example, oftentimes people see Shaun King's name attached to something that's shared on social media as it relates to a petition drive, a campaign, an initiative, or the news of another Black person being killed by the police. But he's actually been pilfering a lot of money away from organizations that are on the ground doing the work. And that's where social media, the flip side of that is people are beginning to raise more awareness of that. So they're not directing their dollars in the wrong place. And so they actually get to know more about who actually has an investment in the communities, who's talking to people day to day, who's challenging the authorities, and who needs that money for bill support, who needs that money to feed, the kids when, the schools aren't doing that. You know what I mean? So there's a way that social media brings us together and really allows us to rally for resources, but there is a danger in that you get some people who want to exploit. So social media, again, can be the great equalizer in allowing us to call that out while also redirecting the energy and the resources back to where it's necessary.
So Derek, today we saw Aunt Jemima from the Quaker Company, flip the switch in a sense and say, hey, we're going to stop doing this because we finally seem to actually get that this is a problem. What do you make of these brands that are changing face all of a sudden? And this kind of turning point we're seeing, I'm seeing it everywhere. People just all of a sudden just like switching up.
It's about time.
Yeah.
I'm like, how are we now in the middle of 2020? And they're just now realizing that the trope of the mammy is emblazoned on to a box of pancake mix. Mm-hmm. And that needs to stop. Same with Uncle Ben on the box of rice as a jolly, Butler Negro. Mm-hmm. And also on cream of wheat.
So what do we do with this? Because I don't want to attack the brands for doing something that I feel like should have been done, but at the same time, I'm kind of upset. I'm kind of mad that it's just now being done.
Exactly. And I sometimes have to laugh about to keep from crying because it's terrible. But, it's like we get placed in these positions, where, even entertainment, for example, there was a mammy character on Tom and Jerry. You never saw her from the waist up. You only saw her from the bottom down, and it was always raggedy clothes, house shoe slippers, and you saw the, dark calves and ankles. Thomas, you better not. And it's terrible. It puts us in a position of subservience to white people, and it's not okay. So it's taken now all these protests, Black people speaking up about their discomfort, for all of a sudden for there to be awakening that, hey, we need to shift the narrative so that we do more on a symbolic but also on the material level. That's the important element to this, and that's the next step to show that there is, a true vision of equity.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think a lot of these companies, kind of what you're just saying too, they will realize how important it is if people stop spending their dollars in these products, right? Because money speaks louder than anything. So if you want your voice heard within Uncle Ben's, like, stop buying the rice, right? And that's how we're going to get this going. And I think since the movement is going so strong now, that getting that message out there to people really might make a difference now.
I sure hope so. And I hope that more of these companies also take steps to, one, put their money where their mouth is in terms of investing in the communities in which they have offensed as a matter of retribution for the wrong done. So putting more of their profits towards community organizations, and also giving people Juneteenth as a day off is also another start. And also looking at their hiring numbers and realizing, hey, if we want to make sure that we have things like this not happen again, right, having, people of color, specifically Black people, on every level of an organization, staff, and leadership, so that someone also not just is a face in the room, but also can be empowered to say, hi, this is where we need to invest our resources. This is where we need to not step on landmines as it relates to race.
Mm-hmm. Well, as we kind of take up this role of shifting and transforming the culture, one thing that was happening in Tennessee, thousands have signed a petition to replace the Confederate statues with Dolly Parton statues. I had the same reaction, a little chuckle. What do you think about that?
Everybody loves Dolly.
Everybody loves Dolly. I do like Dolly.
Dolly's a uniting figure, and Dolly even has been a little bit more outspoken about injustice as she sees it. You know, she typically doesn't wade into politics as much. But if you want to have this narrative that, you know, celebrating the Southern culture is about heritage and not hate, then why not replace these racist symbols with people who have notable careers who are to be loved and celebrated? Dolly's giving a lot of money to charity. She has an entertainment empire. I don't see a problem with it. But I would also encourage us to go a step further and have more statues of people like Frederick Douglass, of Ida B. Wells, of Marsha Johnson, of Ella Baker, you know, people who have done great work but are often unsung.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the Dolly Parton story comes on the heels of, you know, the pushing to change some of these military bases that are named after Confederate generals, to change the names, and the president's like, nah, not gonna do it. I mean, but Dolly Parton, they're gonna put Dolly Parton up in Tennessee. I just understand it.
I mean, and you want to see heroes, actual American heroes from a number of different backgrounds.
Dolly's my hero.
I love Dolly.
He's great. Well, Derek, thank you so much. Love your work, my friend. Good to see you as always.
Good to see you too.
Yes, indeed. Let's flash up Derek's information there. You can see their Instagram and Twitter. And thank you so much, Derek. Appreciate you.
Yeah,
appreciate it. Thank you all.
Great conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Always good. Really good conversation. We're going to bring in the rest of the Jam fam, I believe. I think so.
Whoever's not on vacation, John Hanson's on vacation. We should go find him.
Well, we got Krista. I thought Krista was on vacation too. I wasn't sure if she was coming. Hey, Krista Green.
Hey guys, I'm on my patio.
I'm on my patio.
Not so much vacation, but you know, in these times.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Vacation is a word we like to use lightly.
Yeah.
Okay. We are going to play a game. I am going to get my phone out. Well, actually, I'm not going to use that phone. And I am going to time you guys. You get 5 seconds to answer the question that I'm posing.
Okay.
To you. Okay. Like, so they're going to be like quick little challenges, like mental challenges, not like you have to go do something. So for example, you'd have to name 3 boy bands in 5 seconds.
Ooh.
Okay. Something like that.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I wish you gave me that one.
Well, that's why I did not give you that one, because I know you guys would know that one. All right. I'm going to start with Krista, since she's just coming back and her brain's probably all fresh because she had a couple days off. You get 5 seconds. I'm going to have it up here. Where's the plate or the start?
Nice timer you got, Amy.
Oh, thank you. All right. Krista Green.
Yeah.
You name 3 U.S. presidents. Go.
Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, Barack Obama.
Awesome.
Wow. And I'm not good at history. Oh my God, my air conditioner. Give me 1 sec, you guys.
So funny.
You did good.
Okay. Deanna, I'm giving you this one specifically to drive Brandon crazy. So just so you know, okay?
Wait. Are we like, if I say something, are we responsible for saying it? Like, you know, am I going to get in trouble basically?
No, I just know this is going to drive Brandon crazy.
Just want to make sure. Okay.
Yeah. No.
Being in trouble.
You have 5 seconds. Name 3 superheroes.
Wonder Woman, Captain America, and Batman.
Wow.
408, you did it.
Wow.
They were like from, I don't know, 2 different leagues or whatever.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, doesn't matter.
Okay, Brandon. I like this one. Hold on. Brandon, in 5 seconds, I need you to name 3 famous bald people.
Bill Cosby, Steve Harvey. Nah.
Wait, 3 famous what? I didn't even hear the
question. 3
Bald
things.
people.
Bald people. You didn't say Brandon Pope.
Yeah.
I got hair.
Technically, so did Bill Cosby back in the day.
Right, everybody had hair at one point.
Well, I got it now. I haven't lost it yet.
Okay,
You guys,
Felicia.
I know I'm really sweating. Like stuff like this makes me nervous.
Oh, then I'll go. Should I be nice to you?
Yeah, why would you be
Come
mean?
on.
Okay.
I'm like sweating.
Okay, Felicia. 3 things that you can brush.
Your hair, your teeth, and the bathroom toilet.
Ooh, pretty close, and you're right.
You can brush a bathroom toilet?
Yeah, because you gotta get in there, Brandon.
Yeah, Brandon.
Your bathroom, Brandon.
I just ain't
Brandon
never heard
has
nobody
somebody.
say they brush in the toilet. That's all.
Brandon has somebody for that.
Yeah.
All right, Krista, we're going back to you. Ready?
Okay.
All right. Can you name 3 football stadiums?
Oh God. Soldier Field.
Yep.
Can I phone a friend? Gillette.
The Big House.
I couldn't do it either. I don't think Krista. That's not worry.
That's it. That was just all I got. That was way more
Where's
than
the-
5 seconds. Woo, you guys.
The one that the Kansas City Chiefs play at, Arrowhead.
Arrowhead.
Arrowhead. Yeah.
Arrowhead,
send
the
it to my
Cowboys
tongue.
play.
These are
Okay.
getting harder.
Deanna, I need you to name 3 things you can do in your car.
You can turn the car on, you can put an air freshener in, and you can do the window wipers thingies, clean the windows.
Definitely went over
How
time.
about
Window
driving?
wiper
I
thing.
don't know. What are they called? These thingies.
I had activities. I was like, you can eat, you could sleep, you could listen to music. I had like actual activities.
Guys, we gotta step it up. People are roasting us in the comments.
Oh,
We are not doing well.
I'm so nervous. Look, I'm like doing my hands because I'm nervous.
You're like, okay, Felicia. Let's see. Okay. Felicia, I need you to name 3 brands of computers.
Mac, Lenovo, and Microsoft.
Nope.
Nope.
Man, we are doing bad. I should just not host these because I do much better when I play them.
Wait, give
All
me
right.
another brand. Everybody pause. I need one more brand.
Mac, PC. Wait, what did you say?
HP?
Nobody else has a brand.
No, Matt. I was gonna say Samsung, but that's one.
Look at you. Look at
Okay.
all of you guys.
Am I back to Crystal? I didn't do you yet, Brandon, right? Okay.
Oh, let's do it.
Brandon, I need you to name
Yeah.
3 types of flowers.
Flowers, almond, oat, and flower.
Original flower.
I like that. That's Chef Brandon coming out.
I was actually talking like, I don't know, hydrangea,
you meant like-
rose.
She's talking about the W kind of flower.
Pretty flowers.
You are. I like it, Brandon.
Creative. I will give you that, Brandon.
I've got
Oh,
baking on my mind.
Have you been
Oh.
baking in quarantine? Is that what's coming out right now?
Like
I
biscuits.
thought that same flower too. I thought that same flower too, Brandon.
Okay, here.
Flower.
I'm gonna, let's see. Oh, we're back to Krista. I love Krista.
Is it me again?
Krista, 3
No more
things
sports.
that you do when no one is looking.
Oh my God.
Her, oh my God, took up 2 seconds.
I know. You brush your teeth, Krista.
No,
You can look at me do that. Guys, I just totally folded.
You wipe your butt.
I know, but you know,
Brain.
we got to keep it classy.
You could have said
Say butt.
Okay. Deanna,
Next.
you're up. Let's see. I need you to name. This is funny, actually.
Stop, Amy, you're making me nervous.
I want you to name 3 famous people whose name is Matt.
Matt Damon, Matt Laurie. I don't know if I made that up. Matt, I missed one.
Wait, we need another Matt.
Matt
Dame. I think you meant Matt Lauer.
Lauer.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Matt.
It's always hard when you got to do it on demand, right?
Hold on. Who's another one?
Damon,
Wasn't there a Matt in the Bible?
Matthew Broderick.
Matthew Broderick.
There you go.
Broderick.
There you go.
Said, wasn't there a Matthew in the Bible? Yes, Felicia.
McConaughey. Oh, that was a good one too.
Oh,
McConaughey.
yeah.
Okay, who am I going to now?
Alright.
HP and Dell for the computers.
Bring it.
That's that
Okay,
one.
Felicia.
Oh Lord.
3 things to do on the weekend.
Oh girl, I'm napping, I'm sleeping, I'm eating, I'm reading books, I'm watching movies, I'm going out.
There's 2 things
I'm
with the same
talking
thing,
on the
by the
phone
way.
with my girlfriend.
He said, I'm napping, I'm sleeping.
The same exact things, but nice try. Okay, but you did get it anyway, so that's fine. Okay.
My turn.
What for Brandon? Oh.
Oh,
Okay, Brandon. 3 things that start with the letter B.
Bees, bunnies, and brownies.
Well, it's pretty neat.
Oh,
I think was right there at 4.5. I think that's what I
It was
finished.
pretty close. My first thing would have said Brandon.
Brandon.
I said
President
thing, I
called
That's not a
Billy.
thing. That's a
It's not a
person.
thing. I mean, it could be a thing if you know.
Okay.
Oh, geez, you branded him again.
Perhaps.
All right, this one should be a good one, Krista. I'm expecting good things out of you for this one.
Okay, I'm still recovering from the last one. I hope I say something this time.
Okay, 3 things that you dip in ranch dressing.
Oh my God. Pizza, fries, chicken tenders.
Thank you.
Oh, that's a good one.
The list
That was
goes
a good one.
on.
I don't like
Okay.
ranch. I don't like dipping
Yeah.
anything in ranch.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love ranch. I could drink ranch.
Don't
in a bottle.
disrespect us like that. We're Midwesterners.
For catch, Brandon, do you agree?
White people love ranch.
What?
Felicia, don't you come out here to say you like ranch?
No, I'm a blue
Felicia's
cheese
offended.
girl all day, blue cheese all day.
Oh yeah, no, I don't eat blue cheese. I will drink ranch, but I will not eat blue cheese.
Ew.
Another round of this? Is it my turn?
Yep, your turn. All right, Krista, name 3
No, I went. I'm done.
summer cocktails.
What's
Wait.
the go?
Deanna, it's Deanna.
Speak.
Oh,
I already did it. Oh, I'll go again. Summer cocktails. Give me a
passing the buck. I don't
margarita.
know.
Give me a rum punch. Give
It's
me
like
a.
Krista, and I was like, oh,
I know, but
vodka lemonade.
I'm hijacking the game. Amy, it's your turn.
Bailey.
Vodka,
Yeah,
vodka lemonade.
you got palomas, you got
Vodka iced tea.
margaritas.
Vodka slushy.
Whiskey
Anything.
neat. Whiskey
Anything
neat.
slushy.
Whiskey neat.
Not just anything with vodka. It's a summer
You
drink,
got
right?
micheladas. I mean,
Beer.
there's so many. Oh.
All right.
What about a whiskey neat?
I'm gonna give you your last. You and Brandon each get one more,
Oh
and then you're
boy.
done. All right,
right.
Brandon, I'm gonna give you yours first because
Okay.
will enjoy this. 3 famous supermodels.
Supermodels.
Yeah.
Tyra, Naomi, and
Too late.
I don't know.
He said supermodels.
Kind of like how we got the stadium question, and he's like, "Really?"
Alicia Lawrence.
Who else is there? Kendall
Felicia.
Jenner.
Alicia.
Oh,
Come on.
I like
All
that.
right, and
I'll be
last
like,
but not
He's on billboards in the Shy, dude.
Alicia,
Get out there.
I want you to name 3 swimming pool toys.
A rubber ducky, a round floaty donut thing, and the flamingo people sit on.
Rubber ducky's not a pool toy. It's a bath toy
Where do people play with their rubber duckies at then?
in the bath.
That's in the bath for sure.
It's a
Yeah.
bath toy.
Maybe I bathe in a Olympic swimming pool size bathtub.
Well, that is so impressive. All right, you guys did pretty good
Oh, boy.
overall. I'll give you about a 75%.
That was pretty tough.
Yeah, right? Especially because you got to think fast. We're going to do real quick weather before we get you out the door. A beautiful day today. Looking at a high around 87 degrees. We're probably almost there. I think we're around 86 right now. And then as we look at our 7-day forecast, a couple of other nice days. We're going to see beautiful sunshine tomorrow, but it's going to be warm out there, 90 degrees. Scattered clouds in the afternoon. Friday, getting hot and muggy, 92. And then Saturday and Sundays, when we got that shower and thunderstorm chance. Father's Day, not going to be a washout. Range to be over largely in the morning and then have just kind of a cloudy afternoon. And then things get a little bit better after Monday for the beginning of the work week next week.
You guys make sure you're tuning in. Our new times, we do some news for you at 9 a.m. And then we have all of our awesome conversations at 11 a.m. as well as 2 p.m.
Yeah, and at 2:30 we got Chris Tucker from the Great American Baking Show. Not the Black Chris Tucker, this Chris Tucker. The Great American Baking Show. He's going to share his top baking tips and secrets for us.
Yeah, it looks like we need some hair tips too.
Yeah, look at that.
He's got a nice beard going on.
Yeah, nice quiff. All right, you guys, I'll see you tomorrow.
Have a wonderful afternoon, peeps.